All right, math lovers, let's go over C, determine the zeros and roots of each of these functions. Remember, we're trying to find those blue dots, and you're always trying to see if you can do factoring first. If you're a little bit intimidated here on question number 17, you can change that to a Y. Oh, look at that. I noticed that each of these problems here has a multiple of 5. So let's pull out the greatest common factor, which is 5. You're going to be left with x squared plus 2x plus 1. How did I get that? You can just distribute 5 times x squared gives you 5x squared. 5 times 2x gives you 10x, and 5 times 1 gives you 5. Right, they're in white. Let me do green. Let's see if we can factor that in green. So my a value is 1, b is 2, and c is 1. So a times c is 1, and my b value is 2. What two numbers multiply to be 1? That would be 1 and 1. Let's write that. And if I add those together, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay, so that is very good news. Why is that very good news? Let me show you why. So you have that 5. And we just factor that in y. X squared plus 2x plus 1 becomes x plus 1, x plus 1. Now you always want to set these equal to 0. And when you do that, you set each of these equal to 0. 5 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0, and x plus 1 equals 0. Why do we do that? In yellow, that's called the zero product rule. It says that if you multiply all three of those expressions, 1, 2, 3, and it equals 0, then one of these expressions has to be equal to 0. Can 5 equal 0? That is no solution. 5 cannot equal 0. If I subtract 1, I get x equals negative 1. And because this one over here is the same thing, you get x equals negative 1. Okay, this is kind of weird. You have two answers that are exactly the same. What does that mean? Let's draw a quick graph. Let's do it over here. Here's my graph. My answer in green, x equals negative 1. And here my answer in blue, x equals negative 1. Our y-intercept of positive 5, it's up here. And my graph, a value is positive, so my graph's going to open up. Okay, that's what my graph looks like. And they call this, one a double root. Normally, we would just write this as x equals negative 1, and you can say something like this, double root, or you can say something called multiplicity. This is a future lesson. Multiplicity of, you're really writing this as this, right? Right, 2, so you can write multiplicity of 2, okay? So this one right here, this is going to be the best answer. Or you can have just right now, the second best answer, full credit, is just having x equals negative 1.